Good evening, and welcome to Saturday evening's operational update on the picket fire that is burning in Napa County. My name is Jason Clay, Public Information Officer with the CAL FIRE Sonoma-Lake-Napa unit. To begin, we'd like to provide you with some incident update information. Containment on the fire has increased from 7% to currently sitting at 11%, and we have 1,230 total personnel that have been assigned to this fire on Saturday. For an operations update, we are going to go to our operations section chief, Jeremy Pierce.
Good evening. My name is Jeremy Pierce, Operations Section Chief on the picket fire. This is your evening update, August 23rd. So this morning we had a weather update for an unstable atmosphere and some afternoon winds that were predicted. So we did happen to see those winds, and the unstable atmosphere did cause a little bit of increased activity in our fire behavior, as everybody was able to see with our column today. So I'll give you a quick update on what happened, but on this western flank down into Horse Creek, we had a little blowout of about 30 acres. Crews were able to use our helicopters and cut line around that with the use of our helicopters. It's contained, it's a non-factor, but we did have a little bit of fire kick out of there. And that is an example of why we still continue to have our troops focus on areas that have not shown a lot of smoke or a lot of activity for days, because when we have a weather change like this, it will increase our activity, and that is what happened down here in this section into Horse Creek. Crews were able to contain it, and that's why we kept them there. And that's south of that Palisades Canyon. As we move farther north on the fire into Division Hotel, on that upper left corner there, coming around the horn there, we didn't have any activity. Crews are out there putting in our contingency lines and looking for areas where they can bring that box in a little bit closer. But it's extremely rough territory. Some of it's cliffed out, some of it's rocked out, and it's a lot of tough land. So they're working in there. They're going to continue to work in there for the next couple of days. As we move farther to the east and up on that northern section into our Division Mike, which is up in this section here, that's where we've had our runs throughout the day. We had them yesterday. Well, we had some more today. And late in the afternoon, when we got some winds from the activity to the east of us in the weather system, as well as a very unstable atmosphere, that fire pushed pretty hard to the due east, challenging our Etna area as well. So crews were able to keep it south of Etna Springs, and they had to do a firing operation in there, and that was successful. They've continued to do that, but it's tentative right now. They had a couple spot fires that they were able to pick up, but they're continuing to have a large amount of spot fires in that area. So as of right now, those spot fires are being picked up, but the fire has moved fairly far to the east, and it's pushed into the flats and into the grasslands around some of the vineyards. And so we have dozers picking up those spots, picking up that edge, trying to connect all the dots in that specific area with the use of our helicopter. But at that same time as that fire took off on us and that column and that fire activity increased, we also had that column push smoke right down on the floor there. It's caused some visibility issues for driving in that area, but it's also caused our aircraft to not be able to fly in that area. As that clears, we're going to push our aircraft in there, especially our night flying helicopters, and help pick up most of those spot fires. We have a high confidence that that we will be able to do that. We've had successes so far, and I think we'll continue to. But that fire activity is going to continue through the night, and we're going to have a surge of fire engines that we put out there for that activity. So that continued also all the way down into our Division pop-up, pushed out into this section as well. And as it pushed out into there, it has moved fairly dramatically in this area right here. And as that fire moved in that direction, we have to let it set down for a bit, and then we're going to re-engage that. But on that lower section, south of there, into this section over here, it has maintained its footprint. We didn't have any movement in there. So although we've had some, I'll call it bad news, it was also expected with the weather that we had, and we did have our engines, crews, dozers, aircraft all in place for that. And so far it's been doing what we expected, but it's been a challenging day for our firefighters out there on the line, but they have been able to contain it and keep it into our containment lines so far. As we move down onto this southern section here, it has maintained its footprint. Especially, we're really looking at this area above Miller Flat, where this piece here has a little bit of heat in it. It's tough to get our troops in there to cut that out, but it's stayed in that footprint. We haven't seen a lot of fire growth, not a lot of smokes. Seen occasional smokes in that area, but nothing significant. And that's a backing fire with a little bit of rollout and then some runs. But like I said, there has been no growth in there, and we have a contingency line that's put in below that, and we're improving that line in case we need to do any type of firing operation if we have any change in our weather or change in our fire activity. As we move farther down, we have in this section over in X-ray, we have a whole bunch of troops in there mopping up, maintaining that footprint so that we don't have something happen like we had over in Bravo in that section. So we'll have our firefighters in that area maintaining our footprint in there and keeping an eye on it. And that is your operational update for August 23rd. Thank you.
Once again, that was Operations Section Chief Jeremy Pierce, and thank you for that update. Next, we would like to hear from the Napa County Sheriff's Office with Sheriff Oscar Ortiz.
Good afternoon, Sheriff Oscar Ortiz. First of all, I want to make everybody aware there are some small updates to the evacuation orders, and we would ask that you go to all our government social media page, whether it's Napa County, Napa Sheriff's Office, or our partners at CAL FIRE, for the latest updates. Primarily, the changes thus far have been in that Pope Valley area. As a reminder, an evacuation order it means that area is closed and you should evacuate. And we will close the road and not let people in and out. We are working very hard with our partners at CAL FIRE to minimize those orders and to customize them to impact the least amount of residents that we can do so safely. Of course, safety is number one. We also want a safe environment for all our partners from the fire department to be able to get all their equipment and dozers in and out to fight this fire. So appreciate everybody's patience, everybody's cooperation. The other kind of evacuation is evacuation warning. And that's just what it sounds like, is to prepare, pack, and be ready in case it gets upgraded to an order. Again, we're working very hard to minimize the population impacted. This is a very sparsely populated area with some ranches, very rural area. And the impact to population has been minimal to the point where we've had to need a shelter yet. And we hope to keep it that way. So we really appreciate the partnership with CAL FIRE. When we do evacuations, we use law enforcement personnel. We'll knock on doors. We'll contact residents. We'll utilize the high-low siren. The high-low siren is just what it sounds like. It's a typical European car chase siren. It's very unique, and it's only used for evacuation. So you hear the high-low, it's time to go, and we will utilize that as we do small amounts of evacuations. We ask that people follow official messaging through government channels and follow us for the actual vetted official information. Again, I want to emphasize the teamwork, unified command with CAL FIRE. It's been a great partnership. And we're really trying to minimize the impact to our community. We do realize that we do have some evacuation orders, and when safe to do so for all involved, we hope to get those folks home as soon as possible. At this time, because it's so rural and so sparsely populated, we do have a lot of help from local law enforcement and our own department, and we haven't had to reach out to any outside county law enforcement for the mission. We have sufficient resources for this particular fire within our own county. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff Ortiz, for that update. And next, we will hear from our Deputy Incident Commander, Rob Wetsey.
Good evening, everyone. I want to extend a huge thank you to all the firefighters on the front line that are currently battling this fire on the front line and on the edge of the fire. We have firefighters up and down the state of California that are supporting this fire, and incident success has proven that we've had many resources here, and we'll continue to fill more resources as they come in. Special thanks also to Napa County Firewise for them encumbering funds, for them playing a huge role in implementing major fuel breaks, which has been a huge success process for incident mitigation, as we're able to anchor in and to have starting points and ending points for our crews to engage, and also for our dozers to start work and gain some real good ground on the fire's perimeter. So thank you to NCFF and also Napa County for helping assist with those funds as well. We're going to be transitioning to an incident management team, a CAL FIRE Type 1 team tomorrow, due to some of the fire behavior that you have been seeing from Chief Pierce. There's some fire that is threatening some of our control lines, and we do have resources on it right now, including aircraft and ground resources. But we want to make sure that we transition with the incident management team tomorrow so we can further support the incident. I do want to send a message out to all of our viewers that if you are in an evacuation warning area, please make sure that you visit our website, readyforwildfire.org. It's got a lot of good, helpful tips in there for you so you can plan with your family an evacuation route and for you to pack a go bag so you are ready to go. In the event that that bumps up to an evacuation order, please, we ask that you do leave your home immediately. And this will allow our firefighting resources on the ground to really focus on direct attack around the communities and put the fire out. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Chief Westing. So that will conclude tonight's briefing on the picket fire. To stay apprised with the latest information, we encourage you to visit fire.ca.gov and go to the incident page for the picket fire. That will have the latest on incident updates from acreage or situational status. There's a link to the evacuation information. But we also encourage you to visit readynapacounty.gov for evacuation information and to see the map. So that will conclude tonight's operational briefing update. Thank you for viewing.